Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said $20,000 is 1,000 to collect $3,000. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed.
Good morning and welcome to Open Air on Atlantic Television Network. Open Air is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATIA uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actor to explore hope and engender positive impacts to the society. Today we'll look at these stories. First, Rivers State. Court to rule October 31 on emergency rule. And on 2027, Bala slams defecting PDP governors as cowardly. Scale of defections, APC mocks PDP, calls remaining members undertakers. And on politics, Akpabio comes under fire for mocking ADC plane crash. On National Assembly, Senate won't be held hostage by any member, Akpabio says. And still on politics, Presidency slams Showore over free Kano protests. Ologunaba says Nigerians are eager to see PDP in order. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll delve right into the show. Do not go away.
Are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the dumb thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said $20,000 is 1,000 to collect $3,000. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the dumb thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said $20,000 is 1,000 to collect $3,000. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the dumb thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said $20,000 is 1,000 to collect $3,000. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the dumb thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said $20,000 is 1,000 to collect $3,000. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the dumb thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said.
I'll come back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Chizi Nyomasla. Chizi Nyomasla is a regular on Open Conversation, and he is also the leader ICU Group. Good morning, Chizi, and welcome.
Good morning, Dorisha. You're looking good.
Thank you, and you as well.
Thank you. Did you go to church today?
Well, I'm here to work. Probably much later in the day.
All right.
And then on to the story. Federal High Court in Abuja has scheduled October 31, 2025 to decide on its jurisdiction in a suit filed by former lawmaker and 2023 governorship aspirant Dr. Farah Dagogo, claiming President Bola Tinubu's authority to suspend elected officials during the emergency rule in Rivers State. The defendants include President Tinubu, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, House Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, and Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Abbas, retired. During Friday's hearing, Dagogo's counsel, Babafemi Adebite, argued that the president exceeded his constitutional powers by suspending elected officials, urging the court to uphold constitutional boundaries and prevent executive overreach. He maintained that the case remains relevant despite the reinstatement of the affected officials. Originally filed in Port Harcourt, the matter was transferred to Abuja following the directive of the Attorney General of the Federation. The court's decision is expected to clarify the scope of presidential powers during emergency declarations. What do you make of this story? I mean, this will be the fourth suit so far, or the third one, and there are still more suits coming up. What do you make of this story?
Yes, firstly, like it looks to me like everyone wants to make a name through this whole emergency rule thing. But again, this is democracy. We need to question or interrogate certain actions or inactions of the government as has to do with the law. I have said here that the best opinion of the best, if there's a word called the best lawyer, is still just an opinion until the court has ruled on it or otherwise. But firstly, I want to advise the court to collect all of those cases, because there are several cases around, and consolidate it so that we all learn, because it would allow these persons also teach us either by saying that what the president has done is correct and tell us why it is correct, and then all that is wrong and why it is wrong. I can't come and begin to argue whether it was wrong or all of that. For me, I've gone past that. I'm a practical politician. I've not gone past what I wanted to achieve on that, and it has come and gone. There is the emergency rule that comes. So for now is to know whether I have to forestall a further action in the future, or to allow it because it is constitutional.
Whatever judgment comes out may cause a need for constitutional review.
No. See, of course, this is a federal high court. This is the court of first instance. Of course, you have to go to the appeal and the Supreme Court. Now, there is this legislative powers of the judiciary. It may look like there is a legislative power of the judiciary, and where is that? When there's a lacuna, between what the legislature has done and the executive powers, when the judiciary, rules on that, it becomes law. You don't even need to do any constitutional listing. It becomes law automatically, because it just fills in the void, the vacuum that was created by the law and its interpretation. Right? It's not just being interpreted. That's why you see that when they make this law, for instance, assuming without conceding that they say, no, the president does not have rights, that means they are coming now to define what it means by emergency rule. They are redefining the emergency rule. They are coming to define the emergency rule. It will become law. What they have defined will become law automatically. So if there's a new constitutional amendment, and until then, you always refer to it as a law. Because the Supreme Court judgment, and that's the law of the land.
As the law of the land.
Yeah.
Well, one would say, you recall the Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy.
Yeah, sure.
Up until now, the National Assembly has not done any amendments to accommodate that Supreme Court judgment. So what is the guarantee that, you know, if Supreme Court sits on this matter as well, that the needful will be done?
No, you know, it's purely a constitutional. You know, it's not just an amendment on all of that. The National Assembly is undergoing what we call a constitutional review. You know, wherein, if you notice, upon the resumption of the National Assembly, especially at the National Assembly, the House of Reps, when the Speaker was talking, he said that he wants everything to conclude between now and November, so they can send it back to the state, you know, to bring forth, so that in the first quarter of next year, it will become constitutional. And those things are included. But don't also forget that going by that judgment, that the federal allocation, revenue has started paying the local government straight, because it's law. You know, like I've said before, one thing about the Supreme Court, like I was discussing with a friend of mine who is a justice of the Supreme Court, and he said, geez, we are not perfect, like I've said that over and over. He said we are not perfect because we are the best. We are perfect because we are the last. So as soon
the final.
The final. So they are the final. So as soon as they make that pronouncement, it is final. Even the legislature cannot do otherwise. They will only just have to put it in this thing. There wouldn't even be need to vote those things at the state level. It's just that these people want to bring forth a comprehensive constitutional review. So you don't waste, because you see, in the legislative procedures, if you bring forth what I call a law now, you know, bring forth a section of the law and begin to discuss it, you will suspend the holistic view of the other constitution that you are doing. It will not take longer to accommodate certain things. So all of these court judgments and all that will just be put in as that. That's all.
All right. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue. Do not go away.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Defecting PDP governors Bauchi State Governor and Chairman of the PDP's Governors Forum, Bala Mohammed, has described governors and party members defecting from the PDP as cowards driven by personal interest. Speaking at the inauguration of the PDP's Media and Publicity Subcommittee for its forthcoming national convention, he accused the ruling APC of plotting to turn Nigeria into a one-party state through intimidation and coercion. Bala said despite the wave of defections, the PDP remains the only true democratic party in the country. He admitted concern over the recent departures of governors and lawmakers, but said defection was a personal choice and reflected weak leadership character. Bala assured party loyalists that he had been working behind the scenes with other leaders to stabilize the party, adding that the defections would have been worse without such interventions. He urged members to stay resilient and fight for the PDP's ideals ahead of the 2027 elections. Meanwhile, Enugu APC caretaker chairman Dr. Ben Nwoye confirmed that Governor Peter Mba's planned defection to the APC will mark a turning point for the Southeast, signaling greater inclusion in national politics. President Bola Tinubu, represented by Governor Mai Mala Buni in Jigawa, also reaffirmed his commitment to sustaining APC's founding power, sharing agreements as over 64,000 defectors joined the ruling party from the opposition camps. What do you make of this development? PDP appears to be crying over the gale of defections. Now, you have Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State joining on Tuesday, and then there are also conversations that Governor Doye Diri of Bayelsa State is set to defect to the APC as well. But Peter Mba's own has been confirmed as of today. What do you make of this development?
Well, you see the gate of defections, especially from the PDP governors to the APC, is for me looking a little bit, just to, I don't want to use harsh words, so you don't stop me, you know, for me, but it's a little bit getting messy, and I don't like that. I don't believe that there is, as a governor, like I've said, you know, there's a certain level you grow in a party, you become a stakeholder. But we will always concede to the fact that there are local, realities, around your candidacy. I would have said each time they are doing that, just find out all of these people who are doing that, they do have some godfathers, you know, the other way. Maybe there's the possibility of not having their wins, you know, in coming back for the second term. But the question is, when you said today also there's a discussion around Doediri, I'll ask, Doediri is doing his second term. What is it that he can't hold on, you know, in his party and build his party? What is that problem?
Probably they, you know, usually when governors are done with their second term, they will want to, you know, bring in their own anointed.
That means you didn't do well.
If he feels threatened by opposition party,
you didn't do well. I can tell you something. You didn't do well. In fact, I can tell you that the NDDC MD, you know, from Bayelsa, there was these discussions that are a little bit informal, that have said that the governor is not happy with the NDDC person because the man is bringing development in Obia. Do you understand that? Now, you are the governor of the state. You're the governor of the state. So that means that you are also not doing well. If you are doing well, look, Nigerians.
Because he's not happy that the current NDDC chairman, who is from Bayelsa State,
yes,
the MD is bringing developments to probably his local government in Bayelsa State, correct?
Yeah.
Not happy because he is threatened that that might put him in the good books of people and he might want to contest
of course
for governorship, and that will affect the chances of his own anointed.
His own anointed. That can only happen. See, I said here one of those days, I said, we must understand that the politics is about campaigns. When I say campaign, that you first became the candidate of the party because you campaigned to become the candidate of the party. Upon being the candidate of the party, you now campaign as the candidate of that party, you know, before primaries. And now to win election, today you are governor, right? Now the campaign you need to do in governor is to be creative in your governance. Is to make the people happy. It will exalt their place. If you do that, there is nobody that will come and take away that state from you. Because they know. Let's check. Wike was here in River State as governor. It was difficult to take away. In fact, Wike was governor trying to put another governor, isn't it? That's the first. Wike is the first governor of River State that brought in a successor. Do you know that? No other governor has done that. He was the person. Even when all these people left for other, he still made that impact and brought the person. That's why, because you need to look at his performance. You need to look at whatever he has done. So if you perform, you will bring the people to bear. But if you don't, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a governor under ACN. First elected, of course, you know that ACN, AD, APC had undergone several baptism. You know, it looks like they are jumping from one church to the other, like some of you who are in Pentecostal, you answer this, then you answer the other one. So I think that is, but you know that he was there. In 2003, he was the only governor of the ACN. Yet, he did not only succeed, he also brought people, and continually they have been there. Isn't it? That influence went back to the Southwest. So if you're a governor, especially in the Southeast, if you look at Southeast, Anambra, Abga, right? Imo State, what's it called? Imo State, APC. Abia State, Labour Party. Ebonyi State, I think it's PDP, yes. Ebonyi State, PDP. APC, Ebonyi State. Then, in Enugu.
Enugu is about to become APC.
No, Enugu, PDP. I'm just using before now.
Okay.
That means that you all have different parties in that region. So it is the man that is performing that region should go back to. So why are you not lifting your own and losing your own and then taking it back to? There must be something you're not doing well. There must be something you're not doing well. You're not. It is like I said. Don't forget the local reality. Because in local reality, maybe the man who brought him. You know, most of these people that I said I grew up having my mother and my auntie who will beat you when you cry home that one of your mates beat you. They will beat you. That in fact is so for us. If you beat us, they will beat you back. And if you are climbing in the back of somebody, riding on the back of somebody to come into government without having any of your own grassroots support, chances are that when that guy is shifting interest, you want to run to another person to go and hold, to go and commit yourself to that place. Is he saying that he didn't win election? That his election was won by influence? And don't forget, he came in as governor from the same party, because that party wasn't in the federal government, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So the man who was there was stayed back and then made you the governor. So you can also look at that.
That brings to bear Abia State, for example. When you were talking, Abia State was predominantly a PDP party. First of all,
yes.
You had Ojo Zokalu, who was PDP.
Yes.
And then brought in Theodoji, who was also PDP. And Theodoji brought in Okezie-Ikpeazu, PDP. And then, these years of non-performance until the point where Abia people became tired.
Yeah.
And in the last 2023 elections, decided to vote for Labour Party. And that is Alex Otti.
Yeah.
Even though that that election was, there were moves to rig that election, but the state rec refused. That was Professor Nenna, and insisted on doing the right thing and announcing Alex Otti as the governor. Now, one would say if PDP performed, Okezie-Ikpeazu, for example, who was the last PDP governor, performed, there was no need to attempt to rig the election.
At all.
Like, people would naturally want him to come back. You understand? Now, Alex Otti, however, on the other hand, there has been, parties have been trying to woo him. APC openly has been wooing him. PDP as well has tried to woo him. And Alex Otti has said, point blank, I'm not leaving my party. Now, his confidence is coming from the fact that there is organic love and support for him in Abia State. And he's performing, that which has generated that organic love. And he knows that if elections are free and fair in Abia State, he will win by a landslide.
Let me even join you at that. Let me tell you something that you should know. I'm a politician, and I've prided myself to have gone through the classroom of theoretical politics into this very harsh area of practical politics. And I've known you can't rig an election in a place you're not popular. Quote me. It is the most difficult thing to rig an election in a place. You see why that woman had that support, even though why she had that confidence to do that. It's because around there, the army of the people in Abia can pull her out. It is not when you have a minority. There was this time we were in one party, the same party that was, and then we were fighting wicked, and we had every instrument of power to take over the party, to take over the state. We had all the instrument of power. Even you that wants to write the result, you will know that in this unit we had 100, and you want to give us 2,000. Even you, you're conscious. That's why you see, before you know it, you make mistake. But again, where will you bring it out? Where? We brought all of those persons, and in my ward, for instance, we couldn't move the INEC staff. Move them to where? The people are not there with the result too. Go and do your result, but here, move these people. You can't move them now. Because it's difficult, except the people are not ready to do something. And that's why, you see, most of this quote-unquote opposition who has left these people, who has left the APC now and left the PDP, they are also not going there because they feel they have organic support. They are going there because they feel they can write the result. That's the worst. And if you are going to do the same thing you accuse the other person of doing, then it means that you don't have any justification to cry, because it's just that this person did it more than you did. Somebody was crying that in the National Convention, that brought in some presidential candidates that they shared money. The question I just asked in that meeting, sir, did you share anyone? He said, no, sir, but he gave me money. So which one is sharing? It's just that I didn't give up to that. So if you didn't give money, that's the problem I'm having in this politics. If you didn't give at all, then we know you're a saint. Then you can complain. But if you want to rig, but this was smarter than you because they have more population. You see, Alex Otti will make a history and he become a hero if he stays in Labour Party and turn the place. Let me tell you, Tinubu, I can say it here, when he was governor, was working, he worked with Jonathan, he worked with Atiku, he worked with them, even as governor of ACN. So it's not a new thing. If you smartly can do it, allow my state to, don't come and touch my state. but here you can go if you smartly do it. But to now begin to defect, and you know what? When you defect, you become a new person. There's also a look before the perceived defection of any governor. Just know that there were people in the other party that you are going to that wanted to be governor. Don't forget, there were people who had criticized their programs, who wanted to be governor, who are also there. They do have the instrument of the party in there. And so if you are defecting also, you are coming to defect into a divided house. But you see, it's different ball game where, do you see people like Alex Oti? Look at what he said. The PDP are coming to him. The presidency, the APC is coming to him. You know why? Because of his record.
He's like a bride.
He's a bride. Not that you are going there.
Just like Peter Mba. Now, in the case of Peter Mba in Enugu State, Peter Mba has also, Enugu State people have also said Peter Mba is working. Now, in the case of Peter Mba is working. Now, if he has good records and he's on the good books of his people, what was the need for defection? Now,
let me tell you the difference between working and all of that. There is this, we've not had a politician being president before. This is the first time a politician is president, when you mean a politician. Now, when a politician is performing, you understand, he is in touch with the people. You can perform, but the political reality is not there. That's one thing people don't understand. You see, it's not something, it's a dynamics that we need to look at very well. Now, I can be performing, but I have the political will also. Political will, to do what I'm doing. When I talked about Wike, you know that Wike can perform and he also have political will. In fact, Wike was even going outside other states to influence their political, not to talk about his own. You have the political will. There are people who do not know that you can call 1 or 2 meetings, even as governor. That you're also a politician, knowing that you're a governor. That there are some political fakes to your developments. We are all here. Politicians have interest in one thing or the other. Yes, I want to give up this road, but there are also, agents or something that I need to. There are altars that I need to service. Let me say it, political altars that I need to service. So if you know that in your political alignment or political will, you are not that sophisticated, the performance will become defective politically. So you want to go to the other way. I talked about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That he was also in charge politically. Apart from the performance, apart from the fact that he was in charge politically. If you bring, like I said, if you bring Obama and Bill Clinton to Nigeria, to lead Nigeria, they will fail here in this country. Because all policies and politics speak the language of their host environment. There are languages that so if you understand, if you can blend that your developmental strides and creativity to political will, and political skill, then you are a godfather. Nobody, they won't even talk to you about defeating. No, they won't.
So for you're saying that while Peter Mba might be a performing governor, he may not have the political clout to win an election in his state.
Executive.
So how did he win an election in the first instance?
Oh, but of course, how did he win an election? Somebody brought him now. Somebody had his own political clout. He wrote on the back of somebody. It's like saying sin now. It's like you coming to the university and saying, oh no, how did sin win? You know how he won. It's not like Alex Oti. Alex Oti was minister. He's been campaigning for the governor. He's been running as Alex Oti is a godfather that has become a godson to himself. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
He's a kingmaker that has become a king.
He was not brought in by
He was not brought in. You help people, whether you like it, whether you are the best of them. Of course, you are not going to be in all the units. People must help you. There are people who will donate money. They are donating money because they know your sagacity. They know what you can do. Not because that you are a new fight, that they've just brought from somewhere and made politics. That you may not even know the names of your units and all of that. So that's how this became. That's why when you are coming from that thing, then you stay and allow your godfather to dictate how your political future is. But if you drive your process and then come where all of them now comes together to now vote you, of course you know that there are things that you can literally take over. Look at how many of them have succeeded in it. How many of them have succeeded? The former governor of Edo State, what's his name?
Obaseki.
Even when Obaseki was going to come for the second turn, It took people from Wike from River State and all of that to go and help him to secure his. Now to get his successor to come in, he couldn't do that now. Because the fact that you have been governor for 8 years doesn't mean that you have that political clout or you know what to do. And no wonder that some of us who know what to do, it's difficult to get into office because they know that we know what to do. Because it's not rocket science, it's politics, it's practical politics. There's development politics and there's practical politics to mobilize people into what you want to do. So the man in Enugumba may have all of, he came and wrote other, somebody gave him that. Did you know him before that? Somebody gave him that. All of a sudden, he has not built that. He has not built that cloud. No wonder. Today he has to look for another father. You know.
Right. So now your position, are you standing by what Bala Mohammed has said, that the defecting PDP governors, their actions are cowardly? They are cowardly
because they are leaders of. PDP doesn't have a governor. The president,
So
they are stakeholders. Right, they are pillars of their party. That will bring forward.
Now with these defections, how many PDP governors will be left now?
Yes, it's about 3 or 4 or something. I don't know. But
don't forget that Doediri is also on his way.
He's going. So that Sim may also go.
Governor Sim Fubara has not clearly said he's going to defect.
No, that's why I said may also go. I didn't say he has said so.
Well, for now, let's say River State is still PDP state.
Yes.
So we have River State. We have that of Governor Bala.
We have Adamawa State Governor.
Fintiri.
Because Taraba is going also. So I don't know. We have Adamawa. We have Fintiri. We have Zamfara. Yeah. So, but I said a party came down to one. Let me tell you, PDP was not or cannot be like the ACN. ACN didn't have a national spread. The ACN that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was governor didn't have a national spread as PDP has. PDP has a national spread. You'll be shocked that even in Enugu, there are those in PDP. Do you know when the governor of Akwa Ibom State defected? We thought that was the end of the PDP in Akwa Ibom State. That's what we thought. But all of a sudden, that resurrected some support from nowhere. People are coming out that the governor is threatened. He's beginning to do anti-democratic stuff. They begin to do that. No, we didn't call for arrest. They are withdrawing the police of the former governor. That is constitutional and law. And so all of a sudden they're beginning to do something that is anti-democratic. You know why? They didn't believe that because PDP is one. I've said it. PDP is one party that has not changed its emblem, has not changed name. They've been consistent like the Catholic Church from when they started till today. They have not been from one incorporation, International Ministry Incorporated, or the other one. They've been like a church.
So you feel these defections, despite these defections, PDP is not threatened?
They should be threatened. They should be concerned. They should be concerned, not threatened. Because it has given, let me tell you what PDP has done. In itself, because PDP has stayed for a very long time, it has grown some quote-unquote political purpose, political fathers, who holds the party, who in spite of what you do, you still run back to them. Now, this game of defection to ADC, to APC, and all of that is not giving certain persons opportunity to come forth. Don't forget that. The way what you think is bad is creating. You will see what will happen in 2027. I'm being frank with you. Now, PDP, I can say it here. President Tinubu Ahmed re-election is sacrosanct. Is done.
But that of the governors.
And
they are very tentative.
Senators, yes, and the House of Reps, it may backfire on certain persons. In 2014, when the certain northern governors started palling with the APC to be able to make APC, they didn't understand the bandwagon effect that will carry. Do you understand? No wonder you saw that in APC in 2014, so many of the APC House of Reps and Senate and governors, please pardon me, they were not ready. They didn't even know they were going to win. That was why you saw that the Buhari's government was a little bit like not an agenda-driven thing. because they were not ready. They didn't know.
They came in on sympathy votes.
They came in on. They wanted just to fight. They knew that they would lose, and so the preparation for so many things. It took. But how many months to bring forth ministers, ministerialists, to submit ministerialists? How many months? That's you understand that they were not ready. They don't know that. So what is going to happen in this? All of these people moving out, that they'll be shocked. The kind of things that will be rising from nowhere, and then you know that people are now free.
Fresh blood will now rise from PDP.
You will now know that no, people are no longer interested in. People now wants to do something. There are some persons who love PDP because PDP is easier to sell. You know, the party PDP is easier to sell. You know, so you will be shocked that, let me tell you, after 2023, in practice, you will know that we will have like two political parties, the PDP and the APC. Forget this ADC thing. You will see it.
Why are you confident that ADC will not make an in-route?
No.
After 2027, why are you confident?
99% of the people in ADC were those who cannot deliver their own local government and units. So what are they talking? It's not about having a name. It's not about having a name now. You have to be practical that these persons, can they deliver in their place? Because you see, on that day, it will no longer be what you said on newspaper. It's no longer going to be on Facebook. It's no longer going to be a Twitter thing. You have to go back to your local government and win now, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That's the question. If you bring 5 of them, I will tell they won't win in their local government. So how are they going to win? It's not the cumulative of the elections that will come from the unit and the local government, the ward and the local government that will make the national election. See, people don't follow party like people follow people. It is the people that makes the party.
All right, very well. And then Senate President Godswill Akpabio has sparked outrage after making a joke about the 2006 ADC Airlines plane crash that killed 96 people, including the Sultan of Sokoto, Mahamadou Mashido. During plenary, while taunting opposition parties, Akpabio said, "I'm in total sympathy with what's going on. The PDP is on the ground. Their umbrella is turned. The Labour Party is scattered. ADC crashed even before it took off," he remarked, laughing. The African Democratic Congress condemned the statement, accusing the Senate president of mocking a national tragedy. ADC spokesman Bola Abdullahi described Akpabio's remark as insensitive and disgraceful, noting that the crash remains one of the darkest moments in Nigeria's aviation history. He questioned how a national leader could turn a painful memory into political humor. Abdullahi urged Akpabio to publicly apologize to the families of the victims, saying the joke showed a lack of empathy and respect for the dead. The ADC further reminded the Senate president that leadership demanded decorum and sensitivity, especially when referencing events that caused national grief. Chizi, what is your take on this story?
There's something I call the cap. I don't know, I've forgotten words. It's a propaganda kind of thing. I think the public secretary is trying to do a propaganda thing. What's the link between this ADC and that ADC airline? So what is saying?
Akpabio mentioned ADC airline. Clearly, in his statement.
Now that's what I'm saying. Now, what I'm saying was, did we have a crash? Did we have an airline that crashed?
Yes.
We did have.
Yes.
And then that airline is ADC.
Yes.
And there's a political party that's ADC.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say that the umbrella turned first for the PDP, that the umbrella turned, do you know what umbrella means for umbrella to turn? That umbrella can no longer cover the people, because umbrella was supposed to be like this, covering rain. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. The umbrella had turned now. The umbrella is no longer covering people. People are pulling out of that. This ADC has crashed.
He said ADC Airlines. Sorry, ADC Airlines crashed. Then went ahead to mention the ADC political party. The fact is that if Akpabio wanted to make a statement, there was absolutely, probably he was making a joke out of it because the airline that crashed had the same acronym
with
the ADC political party. But that kind of tragedy should not, for any reason, whatever the point you're trying to make, be brought in as a form of political humor, right? Because you are poking a wound that probably for the victims, for the families of the victims that are left behind, that wound may never heal.
See, you know, we are trying to insinuate things that didn't happen.
Did the ADC airline crash?
Yes. ADC airline crashed. How many years ago? And so if I say ADC airline crashed now, but as this year I said the ADC airline crashed. So I am now trying to. What was the?
I'm trying to make she's making.
Look at.
Relate it to politics. Relate the ADC airline crash to politics.
This ADC crashing. He's only saying that this ADC, their political party will crash. It has crashed.
So why not go straight to say the ADC party will crash? What was the point of bringing in the airlines?
When you draw inference, I'm not Abio's press secretary, and I'm not defending him for anything. But what I said is, each time we look at people, they stop being human. We want them because we want to make matters out of it. It is good propaganda that the man is pulling. ADC has crashed the same way this ADC has crashed before it started going. We know that they have crashed. So what are they trying to do? Let them tell us that they are not crashing. Let them know that they are not. Did ADC crash? Yes. That it is not sensitive. How?
Now, talking about? Abadio said, I am in total sympathy with what's going on. The PDP is on the ground. Their umbrella is turned. The Labour Party is scattered. ADC airline, ADC crashed. Sorry, ADC crashed even before it took off, he remarked, laughing.
ADC crashed even before he took off. Was it what happened to the ADC airline?
He said, was there a crash?
But did the crash happen before he took off?
Hold on. Was there a crash? Now, listen, he could have said ADC party has crashed even before it took off. What was the need referencing a national tragedy?
That he said, okay, if I get it, maybe I didn't listen to him, verbally. He said, I'm quoting you now, that he said ADC airline crashed. And so this ADC is crashed, isn't it? Has crashed also before it took off. Isn't what they're saying? I am also saying that supposing, and he said sorry, supposing what he means was...
No, sorry, wasn't apologizing for the statement.
Supposing it was a mistake that he was calling ADC.
What mistake is that?
Other than the ADC.
Now, okay, let's just say it was a mistake, yes. It was a mistake that he mentioned.
Oh,
yes, okay. It was a slip of tongue, right?
He didn't mean it for any more.
Lapsus lingui. Let's say it was a lapsus lingui, right? And he now said ADC airline, sorry. Then he could have just said ADC crashed, but he now went ahead to say it crashed before it even took off, using the same aviation language. The point is this. When a man of such status, that is the number 3 man of a country, says things like this, how does it make people feel? That's a fact. How does it make people feel? And it's just like someone coming out to use national tragedies like Yawata massacre as a point of political humor, or someone using the deaths of youths during NSAS protests as political. These are realities in our country. Now, as political, 96 people died. Now these are 96 families that have lost their loved ones. That it happened sometime in the past does not in any way bring their lives back.
No wonder the ADC or the party shouldn't have used that acronym so that it won't be ADC, because they are reminding us of national tragedy. They are reminding us of national tragedy. That's what they want to do.
Now, prior to this time, have you ever come out to say ADC? I mean, you are a regular on Open Conversation. You are part of the Open Conversation family. And every Tuesday, you are on Open Conversation discussing national politics. How come, Chizzy, you have never mentioned it before when addressing ADC that, the ADC party is reminding Nigerians of ADC plane crash?
No, because they have reminded me that using ADC as crash means the ADC will crash.
Akpabio reminded Nigerians of the national
it wasn't even
which he said as a matter of humor, you know, making light the pain of other people.
Let me.
Now, where is the place of empathy in leadership?
Let me tell you something. Like I've said.
Yes, go ahead.
We are human beings, are we? We are human beings. Now, all of this is because some person has gone to make it look like that's what he meant.
That's what he meant, actually.
No, that's not what he meant.
Okay,
what he meant was you had something that crashed. If you begin to get a crash, you know, like ADC, and there's an ADC here, you know this ADC is not taking off anywhere. This one.
Let's look at it from the other angle, because now we are looking at Nigeria and the way we behave and think. You know, one would say to a large extent, if probably a much more younger person had said this, one would say, oh, okay. Now, Akpabio is an elder by function of age, by function of experience, and all of that. Akpabio is a grandfather. There are, when elders speak, at least where I come from, when elders speak, the youth sit down and listen. Because when elders open their mouths, you're going to learn wisdom from them.
I'm learning the fact that this will not go anywhere.
Hold on. You learn wisdom from them. And when you're bringing in the angle of being human, like Akpabio is human, and, you know, it's allowed for human frailties to come in. One would say being human in this angle the expectation of humanity from a man of that status would be that of empathy and not that of careless statement that will poke wounds of people. And you're bringing in humanity to excuse such statements. I'm trying to understand how. I'm trying to understand how that.
I want to come.
It's okay for humor.
No, I'm not saying so. If you say at a certain age in life or at a certain experience and all of that, that you now stop being human because you are 150 years old and do have great grandchildren and have occupied all the position in life, then you are no longer, the frailty in the man stops there. It means that the man becomes perfect. There is always, even including the elders, they make mistakes if that's a mistake. If you have related to what you wanted to say here to another place, that people have misunderstood your intention. Your intention was not to mock this person. The intention was to mock the ADC, that they are not going anywhere. So it's not an intention. It's people throwing, you know, making matters out of no, please. It's people making matters out of a zero intention.
Zero intention.
Yes, sure. Akpabio cannot say, because he was governor. Akpabio has not said. Akpabio was one of those people who went and signed a condolence visit. Akpabio cannot look at the emir. Akpabio was in the emir's burial.
What one would say was signing that, going by his statement, signing the condolence visits, an act of obligation.
All of you who are ADC sympathizers are trying to make issues out of nothing. This man knows that you are mocking. So why did he relate umbrella to turn it? He just said he was just trying to look at your umbrella. You are looking at their acronyms and bringing it down and changing it. Now, like he said, if that statement is being misunderstood, because that can't be his intention. It can't be his intention. Let's be fair to him. It can't be. He may just have said it because of, you know, like you want to yab somebody, you're looking like this person, and I said, okay, there is no age limit to mistakes.
Now, to a large extent, first of all, Chizzy, I'll take very serious exception to calling me an ADC sympathizer.
That's what you want to.
Hold on, Chizzy. I take very serious exceptions to that.
Because they are defending their position.
I take very serious exceptions to that, and I will not in any way be see black and call it blue, regardless of who the hammer falls on. I will say things as they are. Right now, if, for example, let me give you an instance. Myself, I have a family burial waiting for me. Right. My aunt was kidnapped alongside a 14-month 2-month-old toddler in Abuja. And this is a current situation. And ransom was paid by my family, yet they went ahead to kill her and kill the 14-month-old toddler. This happened in Abuja. Right. Now, moving forward, we have a burial at hand.
Yeah.
One would say Nigeria happened to her. Insecurity happened to her. Now, in the grand scheme of things, let's say 10 years down the line, someone comes out somewhere and probably in the guise of trying to make a point, political point, whatever point, you poke that pain. No, hold on, please. Hold on, Cheesy. No, it's not about digging deep. Cheesy, please, hold on. You will still have the floor. And someone at the helm of leadership, in trying to make a point or score very cheap political points, pokes that pen or make a joke of lives that were lost as a result of kidnapping, or make light, kidnapping. At that moment, thousands of people have lost their loved ones through kidnap. The same thing that I am going through. I am grieving, I am mourning. And then a political figure, let's say the number 3 or number 2 or number 1 man, makes a statement, and Chizzy, you're seated defending that person that, it is not intentional. Now, one of the most common rudimentary things that a leader ought to learn, a crash course, should be in public speaking.
Very well.
Public speaking. Coming out to make certain statements without recourse to the people you are leading. And, and you're trying to make me understand that it was not intentional, the ADC. Do we need to understand, like I said earlier, 96 persons died in that crash. Families will never remain the same. No, that is why, to a larger, that is why it is now important.
Who is bringing back the wound? Is the ADC that's doing that?
Oh, really?
It's not. Yes, it's not what he meant.
What did he mean exactly?
He was actually looking at the ADC as a party crashing. That's what he's saying. See, I am not.
Why not focus on the party crashing? Why bringing ADC airline into it?
Even crash programs. Look, let me tell you something. Each time anybody stands and feel that a man had to be perfect in whatever he does, that he doesn't have any loose end. I fear the person, because he said nobody can make any mistake. There are issues. There are words that he can say. Even the best, I said, the best of man in the world has his frailty, and that best of man can say, in trying to say crash, I said he used, the reason why they didn't talk about the PDP is because it was not PDP. When PDP man starts up to talk about that, you will see him link it to somewhere. That you talked about kidnapping, and as somebody cannot use it to make anything. This kidnapping, this scenario he painted here, I have seen it in another way. This same scenario of, which is very unfortunate. But if I go to a word and I'm saying, do you see how they kidnap people? I will kidnap you by my performance. You people will take kidnap and not look at the performance. What the person means, I'm going to kidnap you by my performance, meaning that when I perform, you will be for me. And then you will say, no, that's not, it's choice of words. So, but again, even in the best of his intentions, I can say here, I'm not for Abio, I'm not for Abio's place. There's no way that what Abio meant was to insult or to mock that person. That's anybody who is saying that knows that the person is lying to his or herself. What Abio meant was the ADC, but that they are making politics out of it. The same way he's trying to joke with politics, they are trying to take that in to make politics out of it. That's it. It's political. That's what they did. It's not like
they are trying to make politics
out of it. They want to take dividends of it.
This is not the first time that Obio is coming under fire.
This is not the
for
first
careless statements.
Yes, he has done it before.
Going by a man of his pedigree. This is not the first time.
This is one thing that I don't like.
Hold on.
Can make statements.
Now, the thing now is, it's okay for human frailties. Nobody is asking for perfection as a human being. However, there are certain virtues that one will have. It naturally takes care of certain frailties. For example, if one has empathy as a virtue,
Yeah.
and one has kindness
Yeah.
as a virtue, the combination of empathy and kindness naturally stops these kind of statements.
I hope you know humor is also a virtue.
Hold on. Naturally stops this kind of statements from coming out, because your brain will immediately tell you this is not right.
That's correct.
Human conscience, kindness, empathy for people whose wound you're going to reopen will stop you from making certain statements. That's on one hand. And that was why I said on the other hand, don't you think it's necessary at this point, with what I am seeing playing out with Nigerian politicians at this point? I mean, probably the moment one wins election, before you're sworn in, you go for a crash course on political on public speaking, at least to understand the rudiments, what is to be said and what is not to be said. No. And when you say human frailty on the side of Ebobio, and he keeps coming under fire because of some of the things he says, don't you think it's time he takes a back seat and actually go through the things he says again? Like, let his brain talk before his mouth will speak.
I agree with you totally. Let me tell you something. I agree with you. Let me tell you what. Lorisha, if you have fault finders in your life, this hair, they will tell you this hair reminds them of somebody who died with that hair. If you have fault finders, there is nothing on earth you will do that they will not pin it all to something. That is why the Bible will say that the way a man is, that's the way he judges something. I believe that a normal human being cannot mock the dead. So there's no way somebody will do that thing and I will laugh and say, no, that can't be his intention. It's not possible.
All right.
But for anybody who knows that they are failing and know they are reminding of their failure, like my people will say that an old woman in the village, each time you talk about bone, will say, oh, you're insulting her. They will take it back to that. If you have fault finder in your life, Lorisha, you won't laugh in this world.
All right.
The day you laugh, that's Lorisha. Laugh, look at her. Don't say laughing at us.
All right, very well. I think I'll round it up here by, going with your statement that wraps it up very beautifully. You said a normal human being cannot mock the dead.
Cannot.
Yeah, underlining normal, emphasis on normal. A normal human being cannot mock the dead. No, I think we'll leave it at that. So probably for people to mock the dead means, you have said normal human beings cannot mock the dead.
That's
but then,
the
moving forward, I don't know who mocked who. Their statements, the statements between Akpabio and ADC is clear, who mocked what. And you just rounded it up by saying normal people don't mock the dead. Now, moving forward, presidency has criticized activist and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore over his planned protest demanding the release of detained IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. Sowore announced that the Free Nnamdi Kanu Now demonstration will hold on October 20 in Abuja to push for Kanu's freedom. Reacting, Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, labeled Sowore an anarchist masquerading as a rights activist, accusing him of plotting to cause disorder under the guise of a protest. Onanuga maintained that Kanu's ongoing treason trial must be allowed to run its lawful course, warning that no one should attempt to subvert judicial processes. He wrote on X, "You are nothing more than an anarchist masquerading as a rights activist. You want to cause a breakdown of law and order by mobilizing for a protest." The presidential aide said justice cannot be achieved through street protest or mob action. He also faulted former Vice President Atiku Abubakar for supporting Showore's planned march, calling his stance opportunistic and irresponsible. Onanuga reaffirmed the government's commitment to due process, adding that while justice may seem slow, Kanu would eventually face the full weight of the law for his alleged offenses. Chizi, last time you were here, we discussed the Nnamdi Kanu's health situation, the health crisis, and you called on the government to actually facilitate or expedite action on his release so that he can actually access medical care. Now, Sowore has come up with, jumped on the bandwagon. I'm not calling it bandwagon. Sowore has jumped on the matter and saying he's going to organize protests for October 20. What is your take on this planned action by Sowore?
First, I would like to say and again repeat the call for Nnamdi Kanu, for the government to speed action and release Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, I'm not only saying release him on head ground. I'm saying free him. You know, that's my own, and the court should so name. He shouldn't just be taken on bail to be coming back to the court. He should be free. That's the call I call. You know, because I have seen people who have done worse than what he did, walking the streets of Nigeria, and that's Sowore. The man, see, I don't know why they are looking at Sowore. This is his stock in trade. Sowore is being paid to disorganize or bring down individuals. That's his work.
Who pays him to do that?
There are people who pay Sowore to bring down people. I don't want to mention their name because I'm mentioning Sowore. When Sowore is going to court to defend it. This Sowore is here. His stock in trade is for people to pay him to either bring down one individual or organize one protest or the other. That is what this Sowore. Don't forget that this Sowore had a case of treason in the court and was released on head ground. A man who should be, you know, when you're released on head ground, it means that you were sick, isn't it? So when you recover from that, you are supposed to come and report back to the court. Is there any court in Nigeria that has freed Sowore or a judgment that said he should go ahead? No court.
No, you mean if there is any court that has acquitted him?
Acquitted him.
What was the end of that court case? The treason.
Up
the
till
treason
now.
case. So Sowore is still. That case is still on against Sowore.
That case is just there.
So why is Sowore working?
That is what I'm going to say. That it is the federal government we should be blaming. In fact, I can tell that the federal government is responsible to Sowore. I'm saying that because you know if they're not sponsoring this young man. This is the first man that I have seen. Let me tell you, a president is not just assuming without considering, God forbid, that I am a thief. And I become the president of Nigeria and the court has not so named me so. I am not the personification of the country. Do you know that? And any accusation that is on me is on the country. This is Sowore who called the president a criminal. This is the person, to the extent that the DSS is asking him, begging him to apologize. This Sowore who will stand up and begin to make, allege on people what he can't bring evidence on. He will call Wike, he will call this other person, and they allow him just go free, just for political expenses. You know what? It is not about politics. It is about the Sowore coming from the Yoruba. I'm saying it.
You're playing the ethnic card.
It's not. I want to. They are pushing me to play it. I'm not from Igbo. They are pushing me to. Let me. Nnamdi Kanu, you know that I hate anybody reducing the quest for anything on tribal sentiment. I hate it. You know that I hate that. But certain movement that you will do, there are certain actions that you will take. That's somebody begin to wonder: can any other person from another ethnic nationality do that? That's what is doing. Call a city president a criminal, and DSS is begging the man. They are going to court and the man is going around pushing everything. That is Sowore that you know that by intelligence that all Sowore does is to look. Let me tell you, Sowore, they were the ones who, you know, this South thing. Why I say this is a Western thing. These militants in Nigeria, right? What they call militants. You know, I once said one thing in campaigning. I said, if somebody from here shoots a gun, it will not be militants. It will become a motorche or whatever you call it. Then somebody shoots a gun here, it's militancy. It is the press, it is the Western press that's making it. People like Sowore them. That what they did was to make sure that in Niger Delta, they bring us our morale so down that our people would not begin to do something and then they would take all the oil and gas company and move to that other place. Now, Sowore has noticed that there are people growing up and live in South again. Those who are coming up in South, politically speaking, who has a national, because we haven't had those kind of things before. To be honest with you, in this part of this, we haven't had people who have gone to both Amechi and Wike, honestly, especially from university. We haven't had that national will that we now have. You know, the kind of people that are gathered some credentials nationally. That when they speak in national, you know that people are speaking. It doesn't come from us. Now, as soon as Sowore notice that a Wike is coming up, there's attack. So it's an orchestrated thing. And that attack cannot be questioned by anybody. A man who cannot provide evidence of what he's doing, a man who Florida are not giving him any court, there's no court that stated anything, there's no court that has sentenced the president, is walking free. It's Nnamdi Kanu that is asking for freedom because of this kind of thing you're doing, that you'll incarcerate. So when it's going up, he should go and organize this thing. Has it not been organized, the one that kill people and goes free? And people are looking at him. So the man that organized those things going free, and the man who said, okay, I support that Nigeria be well. Look at Nnamdi Kanu, for instance. Have you listened to Nnamdi Kanu's statements in court? He will bring you down to Nigerian constitution. So is this not our constitution? Bear me on this constitution, on this constitutional provision. This man will begin to do something that is unconstitutional, and they will allow him. And he said they are showing the force to thinking that is because they are saving their brother. All he's talking trade. I mean, so he's talking trade is to collect money to bring down somebody. Atiku today is supporting him. Don't worry.
Now, let me understand what you're saying. If I understand what you're saying, Chizzy, your problem is not freeing Nnamdi Kanu.
That's not my problem.
You are supporting the call to free Nnamdi Kanu. However, you are looking at the person of Sowore who is organizing a protest. You're looking at his pedigree and his actions so far.
Yes.
Now, you are saying that Sowore's intention is political.
Extremely political.
And you are saying that he is being paid to do this.
I am saying it openly. It's not you quoting me. That Sowore is being paid to disorganize and bring down some individual. That's Sowore's job.
Okay.
A man who lives on lies. That's Sowore.
Now, one would say, over time on Open Conversation, I will ask the same questions I have asked prior to this time. I think the last time on Open Conversation, I read that about 12 individuals, about 10 or 12 individuals who were released while incarcerated and facing, and we are going to court. They were released on health grounds. Yeah. I mentioned about 10 or 12 of them. Sowore was, interestingly, one of them. And Sowore was detained, and he, was facing, he was going to court on account of treason.
Treason?
Yes, he was going to court on account of treason. And I have done my research so far. I have not come up with the outcome of that particular matter, whether he was acquitted or he was found guilty and then, presidential pardon offered to him. Now, the question I am asking is, I am looking at the selective and preferential treatment of certain persons in the country. Now, I am periscoping Sowore now because he is the one. And now, regardless of his cause for Nnamdi Kanu's release, why is Sowore walking free if he is facing treason charges? Unless they are telling us treason charges are bailable. Now, if treason charges are bailable, why is Nnamdi Kanu not free?
If you don't
despite the fact that court has granted him bail, why is Nnamdi Kanu not free? And Sowore, who is also facing the same charges as Nnamdi Kanu, is walking free. While he's walking free, he organized End Bad Governance protest that the federal government said that it was hijacked in the north in order to upturn the government. And persons were arrested on that account of End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest, but Sowore was not arrested. Sowore was walking free. He traveled to the US, I think, and later came back. And was walking free till now. But I'm sure there are still people who are still detained on account of End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest. And Sowore openly came out to claim responsibility for that protest, yet he is still free. Now, I am trying to understand if there is something going on. And this question is a question that federal government has to answer. Now, one will also bring in Igboho, Sunday Igboho, who ran to Benin Republic while facing similar charges in Nigeria. And he was there, even though he was acquitted by foreign courts. But in Nigeria, he had his case to answer. And Sunday Igboho, to the best of my knowledge, was declared wanted, I think. And then Tinubu becomes president. Sunday Igboho is back to Nigeria, a free man. One would say, was it not still the same secession? Was it not still the same self-determination like Nnamdi Kanu. What exactly is going on in this country? Is Nnamdi Kanu a political? Is he a political prisoner? Is he a political hostage? What exactly? I am asking these questions because a court has granted him bail. And now this man, according to medical reports, his organs are failing. Now, I am periscoping Showore's freedom, despite the fact that he's saying he's pushing for protest. But I am asking questions. Why is he free in the first instance to even organize this protest, considering that he is facing the same charges that Nnamdi Kanu is facing?
You know, some of us, when we say something, it looks like, I said, these people are pushing me to begin to play an ethnic card that is not there. And I hate those cards. Because we are Nigerian. The question is, whatever you have done to this person, should you do to the other person? And this guy is facing a treason charge, in court. And there is no court, I quote, there is no court that has found him either guilty or acquitted him by judgment. It's just a bail because of his, health.
And the case has gone cold.
And the case has gone cold. Like I said, this man organized the end bad governance protest that were hijacked and came and owned it, or people are in prison because of the end bad governance and he's there. This man is accusing Mr. President and all of that. I can tell you, he is just taking advantage of Nnamdi Kanu, because I believe Nnamdi Kanu will soon be released by judgment.
Is he taking advantage? You think
wants to become popular by
to
that?
Be relevant to the South and popular before the South
That's
Easterners.
what he's doing. That's why I said, see, so leave us alone. Why is it not that you're calling for it? Allow us. Nnamdi Kanu will come out. Nnamdi Kanu will come out. Forget this whole thing. That is why I said it is better that a court is giving judgment. Because if the court has given first and second judgment, of course you know what will happen. It's better that the court gives judgment and the man is free, can do what he wants as a free Nigerian that he is. Nnamdi Kanu, I tend to, the other time when we were discussing it, one of our colleagues here said, they say no, that they shouldn't listen to Nnamdi Kanu on head ground. Should make sure that Nnamdi Kanu is because so that don't go and kill him. I think I'm buying to that. This man called Sowore, I wanted to call him something, but you won't allow me.
I won't allow you.
Yes,
please don't.
this man called is just short of. I would have called him a thief if not for
don't.
You
have already tried calling
that.
him
I would have called him a thief if not because of your professionalism. I have not called him now. I would have called him, but he's the person who called the president criminal, and all of you allowed him. So if I call him a thief that he is, and collect money from people and go and bring down.
Can you prove this allegation?
Yes, I know. Let him come in court now. We are all waiting. I'm waiting for him now. I'm kissing your masla. So when they should take me to court and I will prove to him that they give him money to bring down people. That's what he does. Now he is just trying to find the sympathy of the Southeast or the Igbo-speaking nation worldwide. Oh, so is the one calling no now. It's not so that is calling for Nnamdi's release. We have called for Nnamdi's release based on that. So is even moving. How can a man who should be in prison be calling for the release of another prisoner? Is it Joseph? Did he interpret their dream? Who is sure to do that? I said, and this is a man who has texted his popularity in the pool and have come to nothing. That means that Nigeria does not regard him. We don't see him as an activist. You see, activism is not just collecting money from somewhere here, saying something that you can. Have you noticed that all of his allegations, no other private investigator apart from the Sahara report.
He is the owner of Sahara report.
Because apart from him, I'm meaning by Sahara report now, apart from him, that has verified all those claims that he has made about somebody. No. So why are we leaving him? That's why I said the president is the one allowing him. Why are they begging him? Will the president beg me if I call the president criminal? God forbid. Because I won't come down low to do that. Would the president have done that if Nnamdi Kanu was doing that? Would they have done that? This is a man they took up till now. He's still walking the street and everybody can see. Even his NYS is questionable. I know where he went to serve and what he did in NYS.
What did he do in NYS?
He knows about a girl now. There's a young girl that he impregnated and ran and they chased him. I know about him now. What are you talking about?
Was that a crime according to the law?
No, when you run and frustrate, that means you don't have moral. Why are you contesting? Why are you trying to do all of those things that you are an activist? An activist should start. See, my people say you bath from house before you go out. An activist should start. When you are an activist, it means you are a defender of the human right or the humanness. That's what it means. That means that to you must also, come close to being something that you need to do. This Sowore here is not somebody that Nigeria should take seriously. He is just being paid to do whatever, and he say they supported him now. They're supporting him.
Now, let me understand what you're saying now. You are saying that, to a large extent, this move by Sowore is political. It has political undertones.
Yes.
It is not genuine. It is not genuine and in the true interest of Nnamdi Kanu.
No, it's not. It's not. Sowore does not even want Nnamdi Kanu to come out.
Why would you say that?
Oh, no. You know, Nnamdi Kanu is a young person, loved by his people. Does Sowore have any constituency that love him? You don't know. See, in politics, he doesn't want somebody of that same generation to come out from somewhere and begin to do. You think Sowore will want Nnamdi Kanu to come out without feeling or taking advantage of certain information? I can tell you. That's why I said that sometimes also the federal government may also, people around the federal government, they should watch them. They may leak some information about him, so he's taking advantage of that information so that should Nnamdi Kanu be acquitted, they'll say, oh, Sowore, and then they'll release Sowore and make him one thing that he's not. I'm telling you that there are certain moves and all of that you know that Nnamdi Kanu will be freed somehow, and so he's taking advantage of that information.
Or is it that he's taking advantage of the momentum that the whole freeing Nnamdi Kanu on because of his health, the whole momentum and noise and pressure? This is mounting. He's taking over. He's hijacking it in order to make it about himself.
See,
I want to understand your grouse. Is it because now, at this point, you know, Southeasterners will tell you that anybody that can, you know, put this pressure to make Nnamdi Kanu come out will be greatly celebrated.
That's what I'm saying now. Within a normal, logical person, how would somebody who is abusing the government and telling the government, if you want to negotiate the coming out of somebody, it's not from somebody who
already is seen to be in the bad books.
Is the enemy of the...
Now, if you're saying Sowore is the enemy of the government, the same you have said that Tinubu's government is being preferential to him.
No. See what I said now. If you
make it make sense to me.
Yes. Look at what I'm saying. Let me paint this scenario. You know, in traffic, like, you know, in Nigeria, we're used to traffic hold-ups. You know, when you get there, and then when you get to certain times, you see the police trying to flank up somebody, you know, in the front. It's not that the target is not you. The target is the other person. You know, that's what Sowore is doing. Sowore is trying to. It's not like I said, Sowore is not interested. He is only trying to take advantage of the momentum that has been formed, you know, calling for Nnamdi Kanu's release by all over the world. We have called for Nnamdi Kanu's release. Now, I say about Sowore. You know, the momentum is just taking. And then, you know what? One time when Sowore sits down, they will say, before you go like this, try to go like this because he's beginning to attack people. And so he's trying to do first mending. I know all of those kind of gimmick. The people, the president, His Excellency Ahmed Tinubu, show us that you are not allowing to, you are not in support of Sowore. Show us. Let the law take its course. Let them bring back this man and lock him up. Nothing will happen. What will happen now?
Lock him up for what exactly?
He is undergoing treason.
For the treason charges.
He's not just undergoing treason charges. So he has named the president criminal. And he's in court. The DSS is in court with that. And the man is going free, saying all amount of he's going to lead protest. A protest that he won't be there, and then somebody will hijack it and then do something else. Protest as in what? Has it known that there are a lot of protests going on because of Nnamdi Kanu? Who told there are no protests? Who told must protests be on the street march? Because, you know, with this protest, what Sowore does is, you know, I'm going to organize protests by 20th, and people will now begin to pay money, bring this money, will give these people to move here, then he will have some money. That's his talking trade.
All right, you've made strong allegations. I just hope that if you're called upon to defend these allegations you've made, you can defend them. You've said over and over and over again.
I said that's what he does.
All right,
that's what he does. That's his talking trade.
Very well. Thank you so much, Chizzy, for coming. It's a pleasure having you today on Open Air. And thank you so much, our viewers, for always staying connected to us. And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Air. We are open for sponsorship of the program, advert placements, news, events, coverage, and commercials. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv, on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. You can also watch us on Avo TV, Niger TV, and Efastech TV platform. You can connect with us on our ATN socials by subscribing, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. And on X, Atlantic TV Net. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Laurentia Ugu. See you same time tomorrow. Bye for now.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic